Ana de Armas thought she had found her perfect match in Tom Cruise. The helicopter rides, the private dinners, the way he looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. But when she discovered the locked room in his mansion's basement, everything she believed about the man she was falling for turned into a nightmare she could never have imagined. It started like a fairy tale. Ana de Armas, the rising star from Cuba who had conquered Hollywood with her talent and beauty, met Tom Cruise during pre-production meetings for their upcoming film, Deeper. What began as professional discussions quickly became something much more personal. Tom was unlike any man Ana had ever met. At 62, he had the energy of someone half his age, the charm of a movie star, and the intensity that had made him a legend. But it wasn't his fame that drew her in. It was the quiet moments. During their first helicopter ride over the Pacific coastline, Tom didn't talk about movies or stunts. Instead, he asked about her childhood in Cuba, her dreams beyond acting, her fears about the future. When Ana mentioned she'd always wanted to learn to fly, Tom immediately arranged for private pilot lessons. "You're not like other actresses," Tom told her one evening as they watched the sunset from his Malibu mansion's terrace. "You see the real world, not just the Hollywood version." Ana felt herself falling, and falling hard. The age difference didn't matter. His 3 previous marriages didn't matter. All that mattered was how he made her feel, like she was the most important person in his universe. For 3 months they were inseparable. Private dinners at exclusive restaurants, helicopter trips to secluded beaches, quiet evenings at his mansion where Tom would cook for her and they'd talk for hours. Ana had never felt so connected to anyone. The media started speculating, but Tom and Ana kept their relationship private. They had their own little world, and Ana was ready to make it permanent. The first strange thing Ana noticed was how Tom never let her stay over at his mansion. They would spend entire evenings together, but he always insisted on driving her home before midnight. "I'm an early riser," he would say with his perfect smile. "I don't want to wake you with my training routine." Ana found it charming at first. Tom's dedication to fitness was legendary, and she respected his discipline. But after 3 months of dating, she had never seen his bedroom, never spent a lazy morning with him, never experienced the intimacy of waking up together. The second strange thing was the basement. Tom's mansion was massive, with 4 floors and dozens of rooms. Ana had seen most of the house during their dinners and movie nights, but Tom always steered her away from the basement entrance. "Storage and old film equipment down there," he would say dismissively. "Nothing interesting for someone as beautiful as you." But Ana was curious by nature. During a quiet evening while Tom was taking a phone call, she found herself standing at the basement door. It was heavy, made of dark wood, and had 3 different locks. Who needed 3 locks for storage? When Tom found her there, his entire demeanor changed. For just a moment, Ana saw something in his eyes she'd never seen before: fear. "Ana, darling, come away from there," he said, his voice tight. "I told you, it's just old junk, nothing worth seeing." That night, as Tom drove her home, Ana couldn't shake the feeling that the man she was falling in love with was hiding something significant. Ana's opportunity came 3 weeks later. Tom had to fly to New York for a last-minute meeting with studio executives. He would be gone for exactly 6 hours, just enough time for a quick trip. "I'll miss you every second," he said, kissing her goodbye at her apartment. "When I get back, let's plan something special. Maybe it's time we took our relationship to the next level." Ana's heart soared. This was it. Tom was ready to commit fully. But as his car disappeared down the street, a different thought crossed her mind. 6 hours, an empty mansion, and answers to questions that had been bothering her for weeks. She drove to Tom's mansion using the spare key he'd given her. The house felt different when it was empty, larger, more echoey, almost ominous. Ana made her way directly to the basement door. The 3 locks looked more intimidating up close. But Ana had noticed something during her weeks of visits. Tom was a creature of habit. He used the same six-digit code for everything. His birth year, 1962. It was worth a try. The first lock clicked open, then the second. Her heart was pounding as she tried the code on the third lock. Click. The basement door swung open, revealing a narrow staircase leading into darkness. Ana found a light switch and descended slowly, her phone's flashlight providing additional illumination. What she found at the bottom of the stairs was not storage. It was not old film equipment. It was a room that looked like a museum. But not a normal museum. A museum dedicated to every woman Tom Cruise had ever dated or married. The room was meticulously organized. Glass display cases lined the walls, each one labeled with a name and dates. Nicole Kidman, 1990, 2001. Katie Holmes, 2005, 2012. And dozens of others, actresses Ana recognized, some she didn't. All beautiful, all with the same age range when they dated Tom. But it wasn't just photos. Each display case contained personal items, jewelry, clothing, handwritten notes, even locks of hair. In the center of the room was a desk with dozens of journals, each labeled with a woman's name and filled with Tom's handwriting. Ana opened the journal labeled Katie Holmes with shaking hands. The entries were detailed observations about Katie's daily routines, her fears, her weaknesses, her psychological triggers. It read like a stalker's diary, not a loving boyfriend's thoughts. Then Ana saw the newest display case, still being constructed. The label made her blood run cold. Ana de Armas, 2025-. Inside were items she recognized, earrings she thought she'd lost, a scarf that had mysteriously disappeared from her car, even photos of her that she'd never posed for, taken from a distance. At the bottom of the case was a thick folder labeled Psychological Profile, A de Armas. Ana opened it with trembling hands. Inside were detailed analyses of her personality, her childhood trauma, her relationship patterns, even medical records that Tom should never have had access to. The final page made her stomach turn. It was a timeline titled Integration Process, with specific dates and goals. Month 1, Establish Trust. Month 2, Create Dependency. Month 3, Isolation from friends/family. Month 4, Proposal and marriage. Month 5, Complete control. Ana realized she was currently in month 3. Everything made sense now. Why Tom had been subtly discouraging her from taking certain movie roles. Why he'd had concerns about her unreliable friends. Why he'd suggested she didn't need to call her family in Cuba so often. As she stood in that horrifying room, surrounded by evidence of Tom's obsessive control over the women he claimed to love, Ana heard something that made her blood freeze. A car door slamming upstairs. Tom was home early. Ana quickly closed the journal and crept toward the staircase. She could hear Tom's voice echoing through the mansion as he called her name. She had left her car in the driveway. He knew she was here. Ana, darling, are you here? I have wonderful news about our future together. Ana realized that Tom wasn't just a controlling boyfriend. He was something much more dangerous. And now she was trapped in his house, in his basement, surrounded by evidence of his twisted obsession with the women he claimed to love. As Tom's footsteps approached the basement door, Ana understood that her fairy tale romance had become her worst nightmare. And the worst part? She was exactly where Tom wanted her to be. The basement door opened, and Tom's silhouette appeared at the top of the stairs. When he saw Ana standing among his collection, his famous smile never wavered. "I see you found my memory room," he said calmly, beginning to descend the stairs. "I was hoping you wouldn't discover this until after our wedding. But perhaps it's time you understood how special you are to me, Ana. How special all my girls have been." As Tom reached the bottom of the stairs, Anna realized that leaving this basement alive would require more than just luck. It would require everything she had learned about survival, about fighting, and about the difference between the man Tom Cruise pretended to be and the monster he really was.